question of today is, why should I be vulnerable?
Yeah, and it's a question we came up with because it's something that we've been thinking about a lot in the last months, but also with bringing this video out in the last days has felt very, very vulnerable for us. So that's why I thought this is a good one to raise in our next video.
Yeah, like just before launching the first video, I think it's I think we need to be honest. Like, what goes before that? It's this process for myself where I'm like, like, should I still change something? Can it be better? How, like, I can find like a million reasons why not to do it, and then that's why, especially like this weekend, that question of like, why should I be vulnerable pop up, and that's exactly why we started with these videos.
We do want to start, before we go deeper into the topic, with thanking the people that have been so supportive already.
Incredible.
Because support is a fantastic thing when you feel vulnerable, to just like feel that warmth and the love around you. And we want to thank the people who've already like subscribed to the channel. It's been great to see the responses. There's been people reaching out to us saying like, hey, you can come to this place or this place to work with us. And
some people have even like bought their first plane tickets.
Yeah.
Already 3 people are coming to Costa Rica, bought plane tickets. More people showed interest. That's incredible. And then people like subscribing to this channel, like it's really cool that you want to be part of this, because that's exactly what we want, that this is something that we do together. It's not just us, it's all of you unleashing potential.
Yeah. So then getting back to our question, why should we be vulnerable? So it's something that I've struggled with a lot, because I went from the assumption that people would only like me if they saw my good sides, which led me to be very invulnerable. I only wanted to show the good, and it actually, for me, led to a feeling of being very alone and isolation. Because I also thought then that the struggles I was going through, that I was the only one. It didn't seem like others were going through them as well. Because in a way, we're all kind of putting up that face in front of us of like, oh no, but everything's fine, I'm doing good. And in general, and you can kind of see it in society now too, it leads to isolation. And that's the price of invulnerability. We don't truly connect anymore. Not to ourselves, because we're not being real with ourselves, and not to others. And so I started realizing, if I put myself out there vulnerably, I encourage other people to do the same. And we start discovering that I'm not the only one struggling with this, but you get the same, and that leads to real connections, and it leads to real empowerment. Because when I feel like, oh, that person did these amazing things, but they also struggled, and they're also not perfect human beings. Well, if they can, then maybe I can too. And that way we can lift each other up and realize that we don't need to do everything well. We can be flawed human beings. And that's our humanity. That's where we can truly connect.
Well, I think vulnerability is something really interesting, because when I see other people do something vulnerable, I admire it so much. I think it's very courageous to even do it, but then it's funny then when it's myself in the situation and about to do something that is vulnerable, it's this fear that overcomes me, but like little, like 100 tiny fears, and it's kind of like this like giant like beast is like behind me, and you can see like a big shade on the wall, like a beast like that is behind me, but then the reality is that when you look closer, you can see that it's a big shade on the window or on the wall, and it's actually the shade that comes from a very small little mouse that is on the ground, and that is maybe projected because of the light onto that wall. And it became so much bigger in my head because I saw it there, but then when I look at it up close, it's actually very tiny. And that's exactly like also what happened with the first video. And rationally I know this, but of course like so much positive responses came, and in my head it was like, this can be better, this can still change, like, should we just redo it? Which is crazy. And I wanted to share it because I feel it's important that we share exactly the steps that we're going to as well, and because that's part of unleashing potential. It's showing those sides as well, and I think there's a lot of power in actually digging deeper within yourself.
Yeah, because I feel that with what we're doing, a lot of people are like, oh, whoa, like, it's great that you guys are doing it. I never would be able to do that. And I'm not saying that everyone should, but we want to share fully what we're going through, also with the beautiful moments and the struggles, that it's indeed something that doesn't, like from afar, it just sometimes seems like, oh, but it's only a certain kind of person who could do that. It's like, no, everyone can, as long as you're willing to accept those ups and downs and go through them. And it's not always easy, and I think we're also like, all right, we'll see it when it happens.
Yeah.
But we want to share it with you.
Because I think you're all part of this. So what I propose is share, like, when have you lately felt vulnerable? And what does vulnerability mean for you? And I would love to hear it from you, because just commenting, I think, is already vulnerable, because suddenly people are reading what you say.
You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage for you to do that with us.
Yeah, share and keep sharing with us ideas about our journey. We want you to know that you're totally part of this. So recommendations that come from you, like, we will adapt our tour based on it. So let us really know, because many of the countries we've just put on there as placeholders, but many roads can still change. So let us know. Feel free again to subscribe here on the YouTube channel, to go to our page unleashingofpotential.com, and thank you for being with us in this journey.
Yeah, we're very excited. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, friends.